Okay, folks, we're here to unbox another instrument, and this time, gasp, it's a Squier. A classic vibe Stratocaster, 1960s. Let's open this sucker up and get our first impression. It's been bought in about 2 hours ago. Haven't had a chance to open it yet. Just delivered. So I bring this down so you guys can see what I'm working with. And so, wow, talk about a tight fit. Jesus Christ. This is factory packing. From the Chinaman to your door. Okay, this takes a little more effort than it would. There we go. We got the sucker out. Uh-oh. That's not good. So, Chinese guitars, huh? Notice before I even open the package, look at this. There's parts flying all around this box. This thing's been abused. And now, we'll find out where it's from. That's right. First things first. The output jack is gone. So, this washer and this nut belong to that output jack, which is jacked in there. And I'm going to have to take that out and make sure. But while we're at it, the first thing you want to do with a Squier or anything that comes in from China is check for defects. So I'm going to show you what are some of the defects you've been looking for. Let's take this out the box real quick. So I can show you, this is a 2014 model. I wanted this particular color because although I have about 17, 18 guitars, my first was a candy apple red Squier Affinity. I still have it back here somewhere. And boy, this thing is light. Extra light. That's got to weigh 3 or 4 pounds less than any other Strat that I have, including my old Affinity Strat, which is in red. This is both candy apple red, so you can see the difference. Maybe it's because this one's a little bit aged, but the color's completely different. This one's from the Indonesia factory. This one's from China. And you look at the back, there's no skunk stripe on this one. So, but the weight difference is significant. You hear that? This wood is much more denser. I think they're both made of older wood. So let me see what else is in the box first though, before we go over the defects of this guitar. I want to take out that nut, which the good thing is when these things are thrown around, they stick to the pickups. The pickups, of course, have magnets in them. And inside the box of the Squier, you have the tremolo arm and 2 little wrenches. One is to adjust the string height on the bridge from the saddles, and one is for the truss rod. And when you get these, if you have a lot of guitars, the first thing you should do is take a magic marker, or a permanent one in my case, and write down Squier CV60 red, because I mix them up. So this is unusual to receive a guitar with the nuts and bolts missing, and there's nothing else in here. There's no paperwork, documentation, nothing of the sort. But I'll tell you what, this is pretty good packaging, I'd say. It holds the guitar pretty well. I mean, it's custom formed specifically for a Stratocaster. Maybe fits the tele pretty well also. But that's something I will reuse to ship the guitar in. If you put some bubble wrap around it, you know it's going to get there pretty safely. So put those things on the side for now. Let's look at the guitar, and let me go over with you some things you want to look for. Hear that? That's not the jack. There's a screw or something in there that's loose. So the first thing you want to do is check these knobs. Make sure they're nice and tight. None of them are extraordinarily loose. The next thing you want to look for, and this is in every type of Stratocaster that you may buy, especially if you're buying it online, you don't have the chance to check it out first. You need to ask the seller, are there any cracks at the neck pocket? This is something you need to check out, because while many people will insist they're just finish cracks, the reason why they're usually on there is because the neck is either bolted down too tight or it's been through too many humidity changes. And a lot of times people will just say the crack, which usually forms right out of this corner right here where the body is the thinnest because of the contours. And the way it's routed is that this piece of wood right on this corner is really thin. So when you bolt it down and you see a crack and everyone tells you it's a finish crack, that could be an indication of a more structural issue with the guitar. You want to check that out for sure. Next thing you want to do is eyeball the neck, make sure it's straight, it's not warped. I'm going to get the tools out for that to check perfectly, but this one looks alright from here. But we'll definitely need to get something flat, and then you can just go over the frets and check if there's any frets that are higher on one side than the other. That could be an indication of warping. So the guitar, it's not in tune, but I'm surprised that the seller didn't open it and actually check everything. So you want to be careful. If you ever have an issue like this, you can't just pull that through and put the nut on and tighten it. You have to remove this plate, and you have to make sure that the wiring is put back correctly. So I'm going to do that now. But interestingly enough, when you buy one of these Squiers brand new, there's nothing in the box. There's no paperwork. There's no schematics. I mean, my American Stratocasters come with everything, you know. Whoa. So that might be some damage to the paint already. I thought this thing was supposed to be brand new. Oh well, you know. The saying goes, you get what you pay for, folks. You pay for a Squier, you get a Squier. You don't get a quality Fender instrument. And that's not to knock all of you that love these guitars. You most likely love them because you never played an American one or a Mexican one. You can't afford an American one or a Mexican one, and that's perfectly fine if you can't. But to go around with the quote-unquote blind test and say that this guitar is superior is not. Right off the bat, I can notice a few things. This bridge is garbage. All right? These screws right here are extremely sharp. When you're playing, it's going to scratch you. And that happens on Mexicans also. The American ones are a little bit better when it comes to those screws. And the intonation is like totally off on this guitar. These three should be up at an angle. The next three should be going up at an angle too. And like these saddles are pretty much adjusted completely flat for all of them. So this is going to need a good setup. At least the bridge is floating a little bit. I like to see that instead of the screws weren't tightened down too much from the back. So this is nice though. It's a beautiful guitar. The mint green pick guard. You have the aged plastic covering for the pickups, the tone knobs, and the selector switch. It really is a very nice guitar. The neck on here, just by looking at it without even playing it, I can tell you that this neck looks really, really thin. So I'm gonna go fix this jack. I'll tune it up. I'll plug it in. I'll see how it sounds, and I'll come back, guys, with another review. So that's pretty much what you get in the box when you buy one of these. So don't be expecting to get much. There is no information, no warranty information. That may just be the one I got. Maybe the place I bought it from removed all that stuff from the box, but it doesn't look like it came with any of it. So that's interesting. And thanks for watching. Check back. I'll put up another video soon. From the Chinaman to your door. Okay, it's taking a little more effort than it would. There we go. We got the sucker out. Uh-oh. That's not good. So, Chinese guitars, huh? Notice before. Okay, folks, we're here to unbox another instrument, and this time, gasp, it's a Squier. A classic vibe Stratocaster, 1960s. Let's open this sucker up. Wow, talk about a tight fit. Jesus Christ. This is factory packing. And get our first impression. It's been bought in about 2 hours ago. Haven't had a chance to open it yet. Just delivered. So I put this down so you guys can see what I'm working with. And so